When Sydney Colson decided to leave the Las Vegas Aces, the entire WNBA establishment was stunned. She walked away from a championship dynasty, from being A'ja Wilson's best friend, and from guaranteed success. But what she revealed in her latest interview changes everything about how we see her, the Indiana Fever, and Caitlin Clark. This wasn't about rejecting anyone. It was about answering a calling. Colson saw something in Indiana that nobody else did, and her faith in this young team is about to rewrite the Fever's entire future and put the WNBA, old guard, in its place. So what does a player with 2 championship rings think about when she's offered a chance to leave it all behind? The past off-season presented Sydney Colson with a choice that genuinely surprised people around the league. The Las Vegas Aces offered a clear path to more championships, a familiar system, and the comfort of playing alongside her best friend, A'ja Wilson. It was the safe bet. But then the phone rang, and it was the Indiana Fever's front office. General Manager Amber Cox and head coach Stephanie White were on the line, and they presented a different kind of opportunity entirely. This wasn't just another contract negotiation. It was an invitation to become part of something being built from the ground up. In the off-season, it was obviously like a tough decision for me. I've been with the Aces for so long, and we did some amazing things together as a team. And like I said in the post, I could just feel, God, when you could just feel like you need to get uncomfortable, like you're being pushed in a direction, and because it makes you uncomfortable, that I don't want to do it. Colson later described this moment as a profound leap of faith. She felt she was being guided to a place where she needed to be for her own growth, to learn necessary lessons. This aligns with a pattern we see across sports, where veteran players sometimes seek roles where their leadership can have a maximum cultural impact, rather than just chasing another ring on a stacked roster. The public narrative immediately assumed this move was about money, or a guarantee of more minutes on the court. I think the older I've gotten, the stronger my faith has gotten. I run through the uncomfortable, honestly, because I know on the other side there's going to be some lesson that I needed, and that was what happened this season. Like, the Fever's front office had a very deliberate strategy. They targeted Colson early in free agency, specifically for her personality and her ability to catalyze a young team's development. Amber Cox said they wanted someone who could lead the team and bring a lot of fun and levity to the locker room. They recognized her value as a culture setter, a 2-time champion who could instill a winning mentality in a developing roster. So what was the real reason she picked up the phone and said yes to Indiana? Colson framed it as a spiritual and personal necessity. Nobody was expecting me to be on this team. Honestly, we know what the views are of this organization from the outside. But I knew enough people in it to know that we could do something special, and that we could potentially change some minds and some views, and it was a step into discomfort guided by faith, not a simple basketball calculation. She saw it as a chance to change minds about the Fever organization and to do something special. This single decision set the stage for a chain of events that would completely redefine her career and the entire identity of the Indiana Fever. The news of Sydney Colson's move to Indiana sent genuine shockwaves through the league. She wasn't just another free agent switching teams. She was A'ja Wilson's best friend, a core part of the Aces championship culture. Her departure from Las Vegas immediately created a conflict against the WNBA old guard. Oh man, I used to just troll them back. Cause there's nothing that you can say about me that'll hurt my feelings. I literally do not know you. And some of the responses are bots. For me to get my feelings hurt about people, I gotta respect you. I gotta value your opinion. A lot of things go into it. Colson's decision was interpreted by some as a quiet betrayal of that established order. Given her incredibly close friendship with Wilson, a symbol of the veteran core, her choice to join Clark's team felt like a significant statement. The narrative suggested that no veteran would want to play with Caitlin Clark, framing the Fever as an undesirable destination. This set up an expectation for how Colson should behave upon her arrival, but Colson's first actions in Indiana directly confronted this narrative head-on. Instead of keeping her distance or making vague comments, she embraced her new teammate with genuine enthusiasm. During her introductory press conference, she described the situation as nuts and special. She pointed to the economic impact Clark had already brought to Indianapolis, noting people were traveling from out of state and even out of the country to see games. And I loved seeing you and Caitlin Clark's relationship. You know, you guys are always cracking jokes, on social media, on your live. And obviously she's a game-changing player for the league. So like, what has it been like, you know, getting to know her humor, and seeing firsthand all that's coming her way? Oh, and it was cool being on a team with her, getting to see her in another light. Was really cool. By immediately embracing Clark and the Fever's project, Colson rejected the anti-Clark narrative that the league's establishment seemed to expect. She set a tone of unity that would prove crucial for the team's chemistry moving forward. Once Colson arrived in Indiana, she gained a front-row seat to the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. But her perspective was different from everyone else's. It was shaped by years of professional experience and 2 championship rings. While the public saw a scoring machine and a media sensation, Colson observed the immense pressure and the young woman underneath the spotlight. She saw Clark in another light, noticing the significant weight she carried simply as a person entering the league with unprecedented attention. Over the course of her career, I think, we haven't had many instances where we've seen, like, the Caitlin, Angel, Paige, like players come in with the sort of notoriety that they had, the sort of money that they're making, the attention, everything. It's a lot for a young person to be dealing with, on top of pressure to do well as a basketball player, to lead your teams, all of that. So it was good to be able to see like a lighter side of her. You know, I think Colson described the experience as cool because it allowed her to see a lighter side of Clark. She acknowledged that players like Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Buchers arrive with a level of notoriety and financial resources that is a lot for any young person to handle. The transition to professional sports is mentally taxing for any young player, but it's exponentially harder when you have massive expectations placed on you before you even step on the court. Veteran mentorship becomes critical for navigating this unique pressure, and Colson stepped into that role naturally. Unfortunately, when she was injured, you're having to adjust your mindset, you're having to get mentally tougher, because I think she had like a bad injury before, so now you're having to watch your team from the outside is still, I was be talking to her a lot about, make sure you're still being vocal. You don't want to lose this time with your teammates, and because you're either injured or sidelined, you're not still using the opportunity to lead or to grow relationships. Don't let it be a wasted season just as you can't physically contribute. When Clark's season was suddenly derailed by injury, Colson's purpose on the team shifted. It became less about on-court play and more about off-court leadership. Injuries can easily isolate a player from the team's daily rhythm, so active efforts from teammates to keep an injured player engaged are a true hallmark of a strong team culture. Colson recognized that Clark, who hadn't faced significant injuries before, now had to adapt her mindset and build mental toughness from the sidelines. Her desire to become a better leader and, to come back, because there were times where maybe, she thought she was coming back and then it wouldn't happen in, or another in like little thing will happen that turned into a big thing. But to see her fun side, I think that was the most important part, to see her being jovial and lighthearted and, having fun with her teammates. I don't think was like a side that people saw a lot last season. And so I would just be telling her, more of that. So what was the specific guidance Colson offered during this challenging time? Their conversations frequently centered on leadership. Colson urged Clark to use her voice even when she couldn't use her body. She emphasized that Clark's value to the team extended far beyond her physical play. The goal was to ensure that the time away from the court was not a wasted season for Clark's development. Colson focused on helping her strengthen relationships with teammates and continue her growth as a leader. She saw Clark's clear desire to become a better leader and worked to help her channel that. This mentorship, focusing on the intangible aspects of the game, became a defining element of the Fever's season. It proved that leadership isn't always reflected in the stat sheet, but in how you support your team when you can't physically contribute. We did something really special for us to have been together for just a matter of months and not fully healthy, everybody at the same time, so it was fun. It was really fun, and I think the Commissioner's Cup Championship gave us, even more confidence that we could go on and win a championship. I think we would have had we stayed healthy. With Caitlin Clark sidelined by injury, the Indiana Fever season could have easily fallen apart. Instead, it became the ultimate test of the culture Sydney Colson and the other veterans were specifically hired to build. The team faced adversity from multiple angles, mounting losses, constant external scrutiny, and the ongoing challenge of integrating new players into the system because of the injuries. The pressure was immense, but Colson's approach provided a crucial counterbalance. Her leadership was rooted in humor and authenticity. She actively fostered a locker room environment where players felt comfortable being themselves, using laughter as a practical tool to manage the stress of a difficult season. This focus on creating psychological safety and strong social bonds is directly correlated with better team performance and resilience during tough stretches. When players feel supported by their teammates, they are more likely to take risks and push through challenges. From the outside, I think everybody could see the different types of adversity that hit our team, and I don't know, we just found a way. We got a lot of personalities on our team, and there's a lot of joking around, so when hard times were hitting, we were just making jokes, laughing, because actually some stuff was just, what can you do? What can you say about some stuff? You just gotta get closer together, and I think we did that. I think it showed in our play, and the environment was positive. The ultimate test of this new culture arrived when Colson herself suffered a major setback, a torn ACL. This moment could have shattered the team's morale, losing one of its primary leaders and culture setters. But the team's response proved everything had changed. Instead of fracturing, the team rallied around her with unwavering support and the same spirit of humor she had championed from day one. This resilience, born from genuine connection and a shared commitment, became the team's defining trademark. It carried them through the rest of the season and solidified their identity as a group that wouldn't break under pressure, setting a powerful foundation for the future. A new platform in Indiana. Sydney Colson's value to the Indiana Fever extended far beyond the locker room or any stat sheet. Her personality and her unique story became a genuine asset to the organization. In Las Vegas, she was a key piece on a roster filled with established stars. But in Indiana, she became a central figure in one of the league's most compelling narratives. This shift in position translated into real, tangible opportunities that simply weren't available to her before. This increased visibility led to national commercials and brand partnerships with major companies like TJ Maxx and Ali. By placing herself at the heart of the Fever's rebuild and the Caitlin Clark story, Colson's profile received a significant boost. Brands looking to connect with the WNBA's rapidly expanding audience saw her as the perfect ambassador. I'm me. Everywhere I go, I think authenticity is going to always get you where you need it to be, even if it's not what you picture. And a lot of mine just happens to be forward-facing, but a lot of that can be attributed to, our showrunner, our director for the Sid and TP show, and him. Harley, they came up with the idea for TP and I to be the face of the league. Her role allowed her to showcase her basketball IQ and her personality, leading to more media appearances and even her own show, Unsupervised, with TP. She participated in commercials alongside established stars like Diana Taurasi and Brianna Stewart. This off-court success underscored a larger point about what the Fever are building. We love self-deprecating humor. We're totally okay with what our paths have looked like in the WNBA, because while I love basketball, it's not my everything. I'm a multifaceted person, so if basketball hasn't gone the way that I thought it would go, that's okay. I've still been in a very blessed position in one, and I'm very fortunate for, a lot of minutes or not. It's been a real treat to be in the W for this long. I can't say that I expected this. So how did this move unlock such significant opportunities? By joining a team on the rise with a massive national profile, Colson positioned herself at the very center of the WNBA's current growth story. The fever, amplified by Clark's arrival, created an economic and media impact that benefited every player on the roster. Brands wanted to be part of that momentum, and Colson's authentic presence made her an ideal partner. Her journey proved that betting on the Indiana Fever was essentially a bet on the future of the entire league. Sydney Colson's decision was always about more than basketball. It made a clear statement about the direction of the league and who gets to shape its future. The Indiana Fever, built around Colson's steady leadership and Caitlin Clark's generational talent, are creating a new blueprint for success. This team represents a sustainable model that blends veteran wisdom with young stars. Colson herself has spoken about her enjoyment of the relationship aspect of the game, hinting at a potential future in coaching. With a core built for the long term, the foundation is firmly in place. The 2026 season truly can arrive soon enough.